What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm just going to give you guys a quick market update. I'm going to start uploading these more often, maybe a few times a week, where I just hop on, do a quick pre-recorded market update, so you guys can stay up to date with the price action and what is going through my head during the day before we hop on the live stream. So without further ado, Bitcoin's been doing some interesting stuff lately, so we're gonna take a look. We got a bunch of good stuff to look at. We do have that blood diamond on the weekly that is confirmed. We're gonna check out the DXY, and I'm gonna let you guys know what I'm thinking. Are we going further down? Are we gonna recover? Are we hitting a bottom? We're gonna answer all those questions today in this video. Let's get into it. So here we are, starting off on the Bitcoin monthly chart. Now, we don't typically look at the monthly chart very often, but I think it is appropriate as we do have the VWAP coming up towards that zero line. Now, this could be bullish hope, right? However, I'm not feeling too strong about this. I think there is a good chance that we could come up with this VWAP and get rejected at that zero line to come down a little further before finally crossing up. But I did just want to point that out. The fact that the VWAP is somewhat curving to the upside is not too bad of a look. Now, I will warn you, this is one of the only two bullish things I'm going to show you guys today. Most things are looking bearish, and I do just want to start this video off with, I am leaning bearish, right? I definitely feel more bearish in the medium term. Maybe we have a short pump up here in the near future coming up, but that's short term. Longer term, I do think we are coming down to test lower prices. Now, moving on over to the 3-week, we'll just run down these time frames, right? 3-week rejected at that zero line, as you can see, right? Money flow starting to flatten out. So this is kind of what I'm expecting to happen on the monthly, possibly, where you come up close to that zero line and then get rejected down. But money flow kind of flattening out, not coming down aggressively, so also not the worst look, but getting rejected at that zero line's not that bullish. Looking at the 2-week, now this is where things start to look a little bit more bearish, right? You are printing that red dot right here on the bottom of the momentum wave, right? These typically can bring you down, quite a bit. Now, I know this doesn't look like much because we are on the 2-week chart, but if you do measure this out, last time we had a red dot, right? We had one right here, we had one right here. Now, these moves don't look very big, but, this brought us down 60%. This is actually 60% drop, right? And then, we printed one right here, didn't come down as much. And then we printed one right here, and this brought us down, 50%, almost about 45%. So these do have the power to bring us down. Most of the time when they pop up, it is typically bearish. Even this tiny little move right here, you see you got the red dot right here, and then boom, you came down about 20%. So, if you saw this play out similarly to how it has played out in the past, now, 20%, right? That brings us down to 32. And then, if we come down to about 50%, look at that, almost exactly 20K, right? Now, you guys do know that if we do start breaking this golden pocket, my next major target would be 29K at this golden pocket right here. And if we break that, I would start looking at the low to mid 20s. So it is very interesting. If this 2-week dot plays out and we get another 50% drop, right? As well as having the weekly money flow crossover, which we're going to take a look at in a second. If it does bring us down 50%, that's right to 20K. Around the range, low to mid 20s is where I'm expecting us to bottom out if we break this 29K level. So very interesting that lines up almost perfectly. Now, taking a look at the weekly, you will see, obviously, we have confirmed that blood diamond, right? Now, this has never happened in the history of Bitcoin, right? As you guys know, I am thinking, right, if you take a look at Market Cipher B, we are looking very similar to 2018 as money flow is aggressively coming out. And as money flow crossed over into the red, we got another 50% drop, right? And now we have the same thing happening right here, money flow coming out aggressively. And we are starting to get the money flow crossover on the weekly. This is a very bearish sign. Obviously, we dropped 50% last time this happened for the most part, right? It happened again here, we came down, but last time we were about to enter a bear market, or last time we were in a bear market and it crossed over, we dropped another 50%, right? So if you see that red dot on the 2-week play out with a 50% drop, that would bring us into the 20s, right? Maybe we don't go to 20, but maybe 25, somewhere in there, in the mid to low 20s, right? So you have your red dot playing out, that could bring us down to that 20K level, right? And then your weekly money flow crossover happening right now. This could also bring us down 50%, which would obviously be into the 20s. So guys, things are not looking good right now. I will be honest. I don't want to sugarcoat things. Looking at the 6-day, right? Not confirmed just yet, but we do have a blood diamond printing on the 6-day. You do have 6 hours and 33 minutes to confirm this. I personally think it will confirm, just because of the way the higher time frames look. And then, looking at the 4-day, money was coming in, right? Money was starting to come up. Money flow started to come up towards that 0 line. And then boom, now we're coming down again. 3-day, same story. You came into the green for about 2 seconds and then right back down into the red. 2-day, kind of the same story. You were coming up. Now you're starting to come down again. And then the daily, right? Daily, you are back in the red. I know we did cover this recently. We had the money flow wave coming up towards that 0 line. And I told you guys that I was not confident on this crossover. And I said, if we did cross, we might just roll right back over, but we just got rejected. We didn't even come into the green, and now we are coming back down, right? VWAP crossover, printing that red dot here on the bottom of the momentum wave. So yeah, definitely not looking good. Looking at the 12-hour here, we are in the red with the money flow. So, again, not a good look. We got the VWAP coming up, but, that money flow is coming out pretty aggressively. So I wouldn't be expecting any gusto moves out of this. Now, for a little bit of bullish hope, right? A little bit of bullish hope. Let's take a look here at the 4-hour. Now, we are currently printing, and, this has played out just a little bit already. We have printed let me get rid of this little Fibonacci here. Now we are printing, a boom. You got momentum waves making a higher low as price is making lower lows. So that is a 4-hour bullish divergence. And you are also coming up to this golden pocket, right? So typically that you will see a move up when you see these bullish divergences, especially with the confluence of bouncing off of that golden pocket. So I will say, I do think we could come up short term here. I just don't know how high it will bring us or for how long this little pump will last if you see this bullish divergence play out, which it is starting to. Obviously, we have come up a bit here. Now, zooming in a little bit more onto the 2-hour, getting rejected right here. Getting rejected right here at about 39.5. Now, actually, let's come down to the 15 minutes so we can get a better idea. So we are popping through here, coming further down, right? Now, this is the main level that I'm looking to hold. If we can get, you can see we are testing this as support now. If we can hold this coming all the way down to the 1-minute degen time frame here, get rid of market cipher A. So we've come up now. We are testing this level. We do have a little trigger wave here. Granted, this is the 1 minute, so don't take it too seriously. But if we can hold this level, I think we could get a little pump between holding this level and seeing that 4-hour bullish divergence. I think we can get some moves to the upside. And you guys have to remember. I know I was just talking about how bearish I'm feeling, but you have to understand price action is very messy, right? Just because we have the money flow crossover on the weekly and the blood diamond on the 6-day and all these higher time frames looking bad, it takes time for this to play out, right? It's not like you get a blood diamond on the weekly and just boom, you get wrecked all the way to 20K instantly. Price action's messy, right? You come down to major levels, you get bounces. Sometimes you get a 20% bounce on the way down. So, we could see a decent move here for this 4-hour divergence to play out. You do have money flow starting to come up. So I think we might get a short-term bounce. However, longer term, I do think we will come down a little bit further. And, something that's giving me a little confidence for this divergence is that we do have the confluence of the bounce off of the golden pocket. So that does make me feel pretty good. Now, if we do wind up losing this level, I think we will start making our way down to test these summer lows, right? At about 29K. As you can see from the summer, we were bouncing off of this before we came back up for our second leg up in this bull run. So now this is probably the level where I would start looking for serious bounces, right? This is where I'm starting to think maybe we are seeing a bottom. Maybe, I know a lot of people think we'll hold 29K and never break it. So this is, a lot of people think we're bottoming out now. I personally think we will eventually break these levels. Even if we come back up short term, I think we will eventually break these levels to come down and test these summer lows. Now, when we get down here, this is where I'm starting to think maybe this could be the bottom. And we'll assess that, when it comes. But for right now, we're looking to hold this golden pocket. We're looking to hold this level right here at about 39.5, right? This green line right here. Or I'm sorry, at about 39.8. We would like to pop over this, hold that level. These are just basically the levels that we need to hold on to and hopefully continue a little bit higher, even if it's short term. And let's go ahead and just check in on the DXY real quick. It's continuing to show strength on the DXY. This is the 1 hour. Let's move over to the 4 hour, right? Continuing to show strength, right? Will we make it to the top of this trend line here, right? Let me just get rid of this line, right? As we make our way higher and higher towards this trend line, I do think once we get up here, this is where we will start seeing, you know, a massive rejection for the DXY, which could result in some bullish price action for Bitcoin. I don't really know if we're going to get all the way up there, but this is the level. If we do approach this, this is where I would expect a big rejection and hopefully see, you know, some more positive price action for Bitcoin. Now, obviously, the DXY moves pretty slow, very different than Bitcoin, but they do move inverse of each other. They do decouple, you know, from time to time, but for the most part, they do move inverse of each other. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, but, you know, continuing to see strength in the DXY, which is typically, you know, not good news for Bitcoin. Now I did just want to show one other thing. You know, if you take a look at XRP, right, you know, pull up market cipher A, you can see here, I mean, we have a blood diamond on the weekly for XRP. I mean, these blood diamonds on the weekly are starting to pop up in other places, again, making me feel very bearish for the medium to longer term. And I don't mean long term in the grand scheme of crypto, right? I'm obviously very bullish on crypto long term. I just mean for this cycle. Now, you know, so very bad sign for XRP to have this blood diamond showing up on the weekly chart. Let's just take a quick look at ETH, right? ETH is looking very similar to Bitcoin. No blood diamond on the weekly, but I would, you know, Ethereum's basically going to follow Bitcoin for the most part, has held up pretty good so far in, you know, as we've been moving down. Ethereum has been holding up pretty good. But, you know, I'm thinking probably worst case scenario. We were talking about this on the stream the other day. You know, worst case scenario, I don't know if you're going to come all the way down to, you know, 1400, which would be the last all-time high, retesting that last all-time high. But, you know, worst case scenario, I would probably say, you know, maybe 1900, between 1900 and 1400, probably the worst case scenario, you know, something like this. Probably not going to go much lower than this if you even get down here. I don't think you'll go much lower, right? Because the previous all-time high was about $1,400. So I don't really think you'll go much lower than that. But, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum basically looking very similar to Bitcoin, right? Weekly, you know, money flow coming out for the most part. No crossover just yet, but looking pretty similar. You know, money on the 5-day. Coming back up, but you did just print this red dot that has not confirmed yet, but you are printing that red dot. It is a pretty small trigger wave, so these do bring you down a lot. So I am expecting this money flow to roll back over into the red, you know, and then taking a look at the 3-day money flow coming back out, 4-day, you know, same thing, trigger wave money flow coming out. So kind of looking the same as Bitcoin. But guys, I think that's all I got for this one. Just wanted to update you guys a little bit on what I'm thinking, what levels I'm watching, right? Keep an eye out for that bullish divergence on the 4 hour. I think that could bring us up, you know, in the short term before rolling back over and coming lower. So, you know, very short term, maybe coming up a little bit, but longer term, still feeling pretty bearish as Bitcoin cracks 40K as I'm looking at it right now. So it is just the battle of a lifetime here at 40K. So guys, that's all I got. I'll see you at 5:45 tonight for the live stream as, you know, we'll be on there updating you guys on, you know, hopefully we'll be above 40K and continue to move up here in the short term off of that bullish divergence on the 4 hour. That's all I got. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll.